Chapter 14. The Truth of It All. Michael had flown them far outside of the city. The events of the day rested on Sam's head like a ton of bricks as they descended through the trees to the leaf-covered ground. Neither one of them had said a word since they took off. It wasn't an uncomfortable silence, though. Michael was giving him time to cope with what was going on, and Sam was using that time wisely. He needed to replay all of the events to try and make sense of everything. There were simply too many unanswered questions. "What's going on with me?" Sam solemnly asked. "I suppose you are due for a proper answer," Michael replied as he turned his head to avoid eye contact. "Listen, I'm sorry I had to leave you in a situation like that, but my orders were to show you what you were capable of, and I couldn't think of a better way to do it than to let you spread your wings a little bit." Sam said nothing. His gaze fell to the ground, and the hollow appearance of self-disgust filled his eyes. I know what's got you. The people you killed. It bothers you, right?" Michael had seen this face before. "Yeah, Ismail was like that too in the beginning. Listen, you've killed a few people in the past 24 hours. By average standards, that makes you a very effective mass murderer, but these are not your average circumstances. These people are sheep, Sam. They live meaningless lives and walk around pondering their existence so much that they miss the life that is happening right in front of them," Michael passionately proclaimed. "But you are the first person to experience this in 5,000 years. You were like nobody else," said Michael. "Yeah, that's pretty fucking apparent. Most people don't knock helicopters out of the fucking sky with a hood from a goddamn car," rattled Sam in a sarcastic voice. "What you still haven't told me is what is happening to me and why." "You know what? Why is much easier. Let's start there," shrugged Michael. "Fucking finally!" exclaimed Sam. "You are this way because of a flower," said Michael. Sam clenched his fist and tightened his jaw. The irritation raced through him faster than his blood. He flung his arm out to the side and smacked the tree with the side of his fist so hard the trunk shattered and the small tree came crashing down. "Hey, you wanted answers, and that was one of those answers. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you have, but I'm just telling you right now, you might not like the answers I give you. I have all the time in the world to wait for you to calm down before I give them to you," Michael proclaimed with authority. The look on Michael's face was in direct defiance of the hot-headed young man that stood before him. His lips drew back and his eyebrows raised as if to challenge Sam to overcome his anger. "You just said that this is happening to me because of a flower. How the fuck do you expect me to react?" asked Sam. "I will never lie to you, Sam, but there are times when I'm going to have to tell you things that you don't want to hear. So if you can just calm down for a moment, we can get down to business, and I can fill you in on everything you need to know," said Michael. "All right then." Sam sat down and leaned his back against a tree. "Shoot. I was very serious when I said this is happening to you because of a flower. The one you and Frank tried to steal last night, it wasn't just your average ordinary flower. This flower only grows when a god has been absent from this world for 100 years. Only one person on this planet can pull that flower from the ground. Only one person can bond with it. That one person is you." "Bullshit," Sam proclaimed. "I didn't bond with any damn thing. You were shot directly in the head. Your blood got on the flower, and you bonded with it. You don't remember because technically you were dead." "Dead?" questioned Sam. "Yeah, dead. The process didn't happen the way it was intended to. First you make the bond, then you max out, then you die. But no, you had to take the fast way and die right out of the gates." "I am so confused. Max out?" Sam questioned with a bewildered look on his face. "Okay, so first, when your blood touched the flower, it made a bond with you on a DNA level. You were supposed to be alive when that bond was made. When you bond, the flower alters you on an atomic level. Don't ask, we don't know how. Second, when that alteration happens, it makes you into a perfect specimen of a human. You are strong as any human could ever be. Your eyesight is as good as it could ever get. Same for your hearing, your taste, your touch, smell, reflexes, immunities, etc. If it was something that the human body does, you could have done it better than any other human on the planet. However, those improvements stretch far beyond just the physical. They also include the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Given enough time, you could have made the most intelligent scientist look like a babbling idiot and dwarfed the Dalai Lama in understanding of the spiritual self, Michael explained. This would have been the perfect opportunity for you to become adjusted to your new state of existence, as well as learn to control it. It would have prepared you for the falling of the first petal. It would have been a more manageable transition. So, what went wrong? Asked Sam. You got shot in the head, and then you made the bond. The flower immediately brought you back to life, and you bypassed the first ascension in seconds, where it should have taken several hundred years. So, let me get this straight. I died, and the flower brought me back to life. Now I'm some superhuman that missed 200 years of training, and I can throw cars. In a very Ted Theodore Logan fashion, Sam cocked his head slightly to the side and said, "Whoa. Yeah, this rabbit hole gets a lot deeper than that. There are 2 reasons you went berserk and turned that cavern into a slaughterhouse last night. The resurrection process has a built-in defense mechanism. Each time the flower brings you back, it ramps up your abilities to about 4 times of what you were before you died." "Why does it do that?" Sam asked. So you can kill whatever killed you. Simple math when you think about it. The second reason is something far more sinister. I haven't quite figured out what to make of it." "What's that?" asked Sam. "Malice," said Michael in a solemn tone. "That is one sinister bastard you've got in there. I hate to see what he's going to be like on the next ascension." "The next ascension? You mean this is going to happen again?" Oh yeah, no doubt about that. 11 more times to be exact," professed Michael. "Your flower had 12 petals on it. You have 11 left. Each time you pass, it will resurrect you, and you'll become double what you were before. Your power is far greater than what it's supposed to be, though." "Fuck me. What's the point in all that?" "The point is for you to replace God. Plain and simple," Michael said as bluntly as possible. "I think I need a second to process all this," said Sam. Sam placed his face into the palm of his hands and began to rub his stress out. It was a very heavy concept, replacing God, ascending, a magic flower that brings you back to life. The absurdity of it all would have almost been humorous if he hadn't experienced everything that he had today. This was certainly not the answer he was hoping for, but underneath the enormity of the entire situation was one simple fact that he had to accept. He was going to become a god, and that was pretty goddamn cool. He pulled his face from his hands and asked, 11 times, you say? How long is that going to take?" "It took Ishmael about 4,000 years. 4,000 years?" Sam was not expecting an answer like that. "When the only thing they have to kill you with, Sam, is sticks and swords and stones, it takes a while. But judging by how he looks now, I imagine he found a way to die a few times in the past 100 years. Sam's eyes opened as wide as they could be. He had officially had enough up to this point. Though he was not physically fatigued anymore, his mind and soul had taken more than they could handle. The day had worn through his thin exterior of a soul. Death, destruction, surprise, violence, mayhem had followed him at every single step. If this was going to be the normal, he was going to need to prepare. He just needed a bit more time to catch his breath. Mostly, he needed a shower and a change of clothes. Sam was still wearing the blood-soaked clothes that he had woken up in this morning. He was still caked in the remains of the men that he had killed in the stairway. He could still smell the stench of the sewer he and Frank had tromped through the night before. The stress of all the running and killing was permeating through the pores of his skin. Sam had never felt this dirty before. Honestly, he could have stayed in the woods all day. At least, no one was trying to kill him there. There were no helicopters trying to take him out, no snipers or men dressed in full tactical armor. He could smell the fresh air and hear things that he had never heard before. All the plants seemed to have a new texture. Even the simple beauty of the dirt and dead leaves underneath him was enough to calm him slightly. This wasn't going to last, though, and he knew it. He couldn't count on anything being the way it was before. At the very least, he was going to be wanted for murder. If this God thing was anywhere near as heavy as Michael made it out to be, he was in for a long ride. Might as well figure out how it all works. "I need a burger and a beer," Sam said. "I don't believe you've made a truer statement all day." "You fly, I'll buy," said Sam. "Deal."